Community focus. Community focus. We're here for you. Our point of view. At 5 o'clock. You're North London. A week in review. We're here for you. Yeah.
Hooray! 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 Hooray!
Community Focus is an art centre for children and adults with disabilities. We are based in the borough of Barnet, North London, and offer a selection of creative and well-being activities for all ages.
Should all the greatest be forgot and never brought to mind? Should all the greatest be forgot and old and die? For old and die, for old and die. We'll take a pot of kindness yet for old lang syne. Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! And one more. Hip hip! Hooray!
In the room we have
Carol,
Jonathan,
Gila.
Amir. Philip.
and Dean.
welcome back to the world famous Dis-labled Podcast. It's a new year and we're kicking it off with new stories, real conversations and the same energy you know and love. Whether you're here to laugh, learn or just hang out, we're glad you're starting 2026 with us. In this episode we talk about doubting ourselves, how sometimes our doubts are unfounded. We doubt you want to miss this one!
Today's topic is all about doubts, and mine is about fitting in with a new school.
Doubting yourself means I didn't think I could do things for myself and help other people, but I can.
It can be about questioning your abilities and your capacity to do a job at hand, tasks that are given to you and trusted to you. You may not be able to think you can do it.
So like doubting means not believing you can do something, and it can involve negative thoughts and trusting in yourself. Yeah.
Today's topic is all about doubting yourself. Doubting means when you don't believe you can do something and you just say, I can't do this, and then when you actually do it, you can do it.
So Carol, do you have an example of a time when you've doubted yourself?
So I doubted myself when I was faced with a challenge. So I'm an artist, and sometimes I doubt myself if I can even create a piece of artwork, but when I'm actually getting to work with it, it kind of flows. I kind of flow with it, and then it just becomes something easy. But yeah.
Carol, do you have an example?
When I'm doing like a portrait of someone, sometimes, because like their facials, their face features are like different, and I'm not sure if I can like draw, but when I do it, it's kind of like a relief after. Or when I'm drawing something new, like something I'm not really like practiced in, like for example a landscape or or a figure or an object in different mediums I'm not really used to doing. So yeah, for me, I don't really get emotional. It's just like a frustration at the beginning, but at the start, I mean at the end, it's like a proud moment.
How long have you been doing art?
So I started when I was a child. My parents knew I was creative, and then they enrolled me in like an art class when I was around 9 or 8, and then I kind of did like art. Then I stopped, and then I came back when I was 15, and I started doing art, and that's when I discovered there's more to art, and that's when I just became good at it, I guess. And probably around maybe like 10 years, or something, more than 10 years, I guess. Dean, have you got an example when you doubted yourself about something?
I think the main doubt that I have been experiencing is to do with my creativity.
And do you have an example?
I think one piece of artwork that I did, what was very pleasing, was to do with the north wind and the sun. The north wind was facing to its side, and the sun was facing to the, what do you call the front? It's the front, that's the artwork. And the wind was gushing with the words "Why," which was based on the unreleased Stevie Wonder song. And the other piece of artwork was to do with the work in the art gallery at the Spires, which I love very much.
And you had another example at school.
I think one example of school was finding one's way around at the new campus. This was when I was being inducted into Hendon. Can you think of an example of when you've doubted yourself?
So I have 2 examples. One was when I go to my baking. I always bake something, and then I thought, have I put baking powder in? Or baking soda? Or have I put, whatever we bake, have I put something in it? And some of the time I'm just like certain that I have, and then it comes out and it just looks like, it just looked like a cake. Let's say that. And I always, when after, I always try again, and then I managed to put baking powder and whatever other ingredients, and I felt really happy that I remembered to actually follow the recipe. But also I think everyone in the baking community has done that before, because I remember on Bake Off they always forget to put stuff in. It looks like what I've experienced, and that is really not good. When you just feel like you've forgotten an ingredient, you feel really low and really like, what do I do? And then we have to wait for it to come out of the oven and see how it turned out. I've got another example. So I've got a new electric wheelchair, and I take, when I'm tired or just generally, I take my wheelchair, if it's not raining, to places when I am going. So when I come here on Monday, I take my wheelchair because I have to take it to work, then back home. And I thought I don't know any route to get to CF, but I just like, there's no route to CF. How am I going to do it? And my dad said there's a route, so I took my wheelchair and we did the route together, and I felt really proud of myself because now I got a route in my wheelchair that I can do from my house to CF to back. I just get confused. So I just found a route that I can do to get to my work, and I'm actually really, really happy about me overcoming my doubting myself. That doesn't even make sense.
What is it like to doubt yourself when you're faced with that situation?
When I faced with the both situations, I felt really low and discombobulated in what I want to do because I don't know how to overcome it.
When you were able to get through that challenge and doubting, how did it make you feel after achieving it?
It made me feel really happy and ecstatic because I've actually done something that I'm proud of, and I can tell people that I've done it, and actually just like now I'm independent, and that's what matters. Jonathan, have you ever doubted yourself?
Yes. On many occasions, I have certain ways of doing things, and on many occasions I will choose to do things differently, and I will tell myself that I'll be doing it differently for the sake of variety and keeping variety as part of how life is. But there's always a part of me that is thinking to myself, am I really doing it because it's different, or am I just hoping it's going to be easier? If it means using up less energy and taking less effort to do, is it really doing the equivalent of the usual way in which I would do things? With a example would be trying to keep my weight under control, because I go to the gym, but every now and then I will choose to go for a walk. But while I'm out on that walk, I'll be wondering whether I should be doing this or be going to the gym like how I normally do. It gets me stuck in a cycle of going to the gym and having that disrupt everything else. Because if I know I'm going to the gym that day, I know I'm following my routine and I know how everything is going to go, and I can track my progress. But doing that so often becomes monotonous and boring.
Jonathan, have you ever doubted yourself and it's been alright in the end?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, with college work and all that, I often felt overwhelmed by the coursework and everything else. But by the end, despite several years of stress and all that, I managed to push through it. And I think a lot of my doubt came from basically I was comparing my work to others. And you should really never do that, because as it turns out, my work was just fine, apparently. Yeah, I just need to, stop comparing myself to others so much. That might help the doubt problem. So, Phil, have there ever been times when you doubted yourself?
Yes, when I was asked to be a trustee. And I thought, me, a trustee, because of my learning difficulty and my reading. But now, I just love it. I just love being a trustee now.
Were there any specific moments when you were appointed a trustee where you doubted yourself?
Yeah, because I've got a learning difficulty, as you all know, I find it difficult to understand words and read words. So I thought, because I'm a how can I be a trustee? Because I've got this learning difficulty. And if it wasn't for someone helping me before the meetings, I don't know what I'd do.
And do you hide it, or do you say, actually, I don't understand that? Can somebody explain it to me?
Yeah, I feel embarrassed because I feel when I'm in the meetings and I don't understand things, I put my hand out and say, "Excuse me, do you mind if I ask you? Ask you what that means? What word means it, or what it means?" I feel embarrassed. I feel I'm interrupting the group.
But it's better to do that than to not understand, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes.
And do you ever think they do? I don't think they would ever get annoyed by that.
No, but in myself, Phil, I feel I'm disrupting the group, But they will say to me, "Don't worry, Philip. If you don't understand things, just ask."
So what about it, Phil? Do you have any more analogies for your first grade doubts?
Yes, I wasn't allowed to do what I do now when I was at home with my mum. My mum didn't think I could do anything for myself. And I wasn't allowed to because of how she was, And also, the second thing is, I trusted myself because I didn't have a chance to explore myself when I was at home. And now, since I left home 30 years ago, I just feel happy. I feel complete. I feel loved by people, and I'm happy.
So, Amir, have there been moments when you have doubted yourself?
Yes.
Where do you work, Amir?
I work in a charity shop, the donation.
And where you worked in the charity shop, did you doubt yourself working there?
Yes.
Why was that?
I like my job.
You liked your job, so were you worried just in case you couldn't do the job?
Yes.
And how long have you been there for?
I can't remember.
Is it maybe more than a month?
The month, yes.
More than 1 month?
Yes.
And how do you find the job now?
Easy for me, yes.
It's easy for you. That's brilliant. That's really good. So you think you doubted yourself, but then you realise you can do the job.
Yes.
So Carol, when you're doubting yourself, have you been with anybody that's helped you with your doubt?
Do you feel like you're a good support network?
Yeah, I guess.
And who would you go to if you had a doubt about yourself?
If it was like work that I was stuck on and I was a bit confused and I was doubting if I could do it, I would probably go to my teacher. He would have all the answers probably. So yeah.
If you see any of your friends that doubt themselves, how would you help them? Dean?
Yes, if I saw a friend who was in need, I would actually help them by picking them up off their feet or making sure that if someone's stolen something from them, you give it back to them. Yes, these are ways that we can help our friends.
And what about if a friend came up to you and said, I'm really doubting myself?
Mm.
How would you help them with their confidence?
Well, the way I would help them with their confidence is to make sure that anything that they have on their chest has to be taken off now, or they forever hold their peace. That's one of the ways that you can clear it out.
Wow, fantastic.
Great.
It's lovely, that, dear. Does everybody like going to the theatre?
Depends what on.
Depends. Does everybody like watching films?
Yeah.
What about if you combine them together and you can imagine your favourite film being on the theatre? Would that ruin the film, or would it make it better?
It would depend entirely on what the film is, really. You know, if you're talking something that's big in scope and, you know, requires a big budget and a lot of distance and travelling involved and a lot of big sets, it can be difficult to pull off. It has been pulled off, but I think due to the big budget involved or the planning, I think it'd be something you could rarely get pulled off successfully.
What about the film Alien? Can you imagine seeing that in the theatre? Do you reckon that would work?
I'm inclined to say no. I can think of worse ideas, but I don't quite think it would really work. I think there's too many special effects involving a lot of tubes with liquids spraying out. You know, I know you can get things like that, but I think there'd be an awful lot of stickiness involved.
What about Jaws?
Ooh, I'd say that's probably one of the most difficult ones to pull off, I'd say.
What about Jurassic Park as a theatre production? No? Jurassic Park? Would you go and see that?
It could be possible because I know that the animatronics are sort of around. I think they're still being used in like some museums and stuff for the sake of entertainment. You could maybe on a certain scale, but I think a lot of these would be steps down. You know, just trying to translate it all into something that's staying on a single stage. It's not impossible, but I don't think I'd go.
All right. What about The Shining? The Shining as a theatre production.
Yeah, I think The Shining could work. Yeah. It's all very performance driven. You know, not an awful lot of effects involved, but yeah, I think The Shining could work.
Anybody else got any suggestions? Any films that they like?
The Jungle Book.
Oh, the Jungle Book,
that's
yeah.
good.
I'm the king of sinners, and glory I be.
So, Phil, what are your goals or what you're looking forward to for this year?
Well, first thing is getting married to my partner Karen. On the 23rd of July, and we're looking forward to it. I am, and I love her so much, you know.
That's very exciting.
Yeah.
That's what I'm forward to.
Yes, it is. Yes. Carol, what are you looking forward to this year?
I hope to become better in maths and English, so like practice more and get my results in 2026. Yeah. Dean, what are your expectations and goals for this year?
My sister suggested going out to Putney in order to experience the district line, and I think it was a great idea. And also, I would love to go back to Milton Keynes to play on the Yamaha PSR 340 because it was the greatest gift of this whole world.
What is that?
It's the name of a keyboard which contains lots of different sounds, such as the agogo, the macete, the 21 plus organ and the marimba and everything else in this whole world that you can't do through a grand piano.
And that's only in Milton Keynes.
Yes, we all love that house very much, and we all know how much we need it. Amir, what are your goals?
See my new friends, my family. I enjoy myself, my work, yes. Jonathan, what are your goal?
My goal for this year will be pretty much the same as it has been for previous years, which should tell you something, and that is to basically be more comfortable with myself and my own company and try to do things more for myself and not for other people.
Gila, what are your hopes for this year?
My hopes are that we have world peace, as the world is not nice. And my my other hope is to hopefully lose some weight to improve my walking and my balancing so that my disability doesn't deteriorate even more.
The final thought is...
So thank you everyone for your wonderful feedback. We're now going to say goodbye. And we hope these dreams and opportunities come true. Yes. So if you had one message for the world, what would it be?
All I can think to say is goodbye, cruel world.
Thank you, Jonathan. Now it's your turn, Mia.
Goodbye.
Do you have a message?
Thank you.
Phil, you make amazing speeches, so do you have a goodbye and a message for the world?
Goodbye and have a good time.
Dean, do you have a goodbye and a message for the world?
I have to say thank you very much, and I hope you have a nice day.
If you like what you've heard today, please give us a follow, like, share, comment on what you thought about that episode. Bye.
Bye. Community focus. Community focus. We're here for you. With me and you. On our point of view. At 5 o'clock. You're in North London. The podcast crew. A week in review. We're here for you.